Carlos Name's world has been turned upside down. His situation continues to worsen as unexplainable things continue to occur around him. Not only does he have to continue to worry about everything going on, but now he has to find Rispus, who disappeared unexpectedly after he fled his home at night to investigate what was going on outside. Carlos didn't waste any time. He immediately began to make posters offering compensation to anybody who had any information about Rispus. As he was out placing these posters, Carlos had time to reflect on the events that have been occurring. Last event being the disappearance and reappearance of the house out in front. He realized that these strange things haven't just been occurring to him, but also in the gated community residence that he lives in. He realized that they changed the names of the streets of where he lives in Mexico to weird English names. At first sight, they seem like simple street names, absolutely nothing to be worried about. But upon searching up the names, something chilling was discovered about these names of these streets. The name Belial is a demon. All this information concerned Carlos, so he decided to ask the workers of the residence why the names of the streets were changed. Although the name of the street wasn't the thing to be most concerned about. While Carlos continued his investigation on the street names, he noticed that the symbol that the Satanic Cult was wearing early on in the story is also present in the residence he lives in, to which he claims he has never been to that area of the residence. Carlos shortly after took the time to thank everyone supporting him in his journey of finding his dog. In fact, there were so many people concerned with Rispus' disappearance that he was trending #1 on Twitter. His search for Rispus would be cut short because one of the workers at the residence had found Rispus and took care of him while he figured out who the owner was. I am thankful to have you back, Blue Heart. The pure happiness of having Rispus back would be short-lived, as things did not take long before Rispus once again began to act strange in the house. Carlos once again feels unsafe in his home, since it is clear that once Rispus acts strange, something bad will happen. He took to Instagram to make a poll where he said, "I don't know what to do," and left 2 options that read, "Go to a hotel or stay at home," to which 73% said go to a hotel, and the remaining 27% said stay home. I will spend the night here. I have informed the security and they are now outside. He does not want to sleep with me in the bed. I have left him a pillow and he does not want to sleep there either. As it gets darker, Rispus becomes more distressed. He is more calm now. Nothing has happened. Everything is calm. Or at least he thought, because the night was far from over. Carlos receives an alarming photo that was shared with him around 3 a.m. The concerning part was that it wasn't just shared on accident, how it sometimes tends to happen on iPhone. This was sent directly to Carlos with a chilling message on the photo of his house that read, "Can you come outside?" Someone by the name Vaughn Alexander is outside of his house watching him. Carlos, of course, did not waste any time and made sure everything was locked and closed. A second, even more alarming photo was shared that showed that Vaughn has opened Carlos's front door. The light from the bathroom has just turned on. My apologies if blood makes you a little squeamish, like me. One of the broken glass cut me. The ambulance is on its way. I mean, that's one way to get out of that demonic home. Honestly, I would rather stay in a hospital than go back to that house because whatever's going on in that house is just too much to handle. Like, there's just so many things, like the freaking jungle that appeared in front of his house when the other house disappeared, all these weird things he keeps seeing, all these ghosts, this cult. Like, it's just too much. I would rather stay at the hospital than be at that house. So I mean, it was a good call for him to call the ambulance, even though it was just for like a little cut on his foot. Rispus is with me. I scream for help, and it seems like there is nobody. The ambulance is still not here. This is something odd that is also reoccurring now that I'm realizing it. I mean, I think it's time to take into account that every time something strange like this happens and he tries to go for help, you know, that's like a normal response for a human to do. Like, if you're in danger or something's happening, you try to look for help. And, you know, he was screaming for help and he doesn't find anybody anytime. In the last video, when he went outside before Rispus got lost, it was the same thing. He said that it was like nobody was there at their homes at all, like nobody at the same time. And the same thing is happening right now. It's like if the residence was a ghost town or something. We have been stopped for 15 minutes and they keep ignoring me.
Señorita, ¿ya llegamos? ¿Ya llegamos?
They just returned me to my house. Odd, right? Why would an ambulance take the time to go pick you up to take you to the hospital, but then last minute out of nowhere take you back home without a single explanation? No, I have just seen someone that looks exactly like me inside my house. I don't see him anymore. Perhaps I was hallucinating. I am with Rispus. I am going to run out of batteries soon. My foot is a little better. The glass impaled my foot and I also fractured my ankle. I don't know, are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? The fact that he saw someone identical to him in the house could mean one of two things. Either time travel or time loop. When I thought that the strange things were over, I realized that I was mistaken and probably discovered it the worst possible way. I wish for discretion and respect for all people and religion. The following stories are from previous days. None of it is occurring in this exact moment. Everything occurred back in June at Rispus' party. Carlos didn't realize at the time the danger he put his guests as well as himself in for throwing the party, but in return, a lot of his doubts were answered. His dad owns a restaurant and sent him a Mickey Mouse costume so someone could dress up in it for the party. So he called the head security of the gated residence and hired one of the workers to dress up in the costume. Everything seemed to have gone smoothly at the party until the second day when Carlos noticed something disturbing. On the second day, we found this cell phone. I do not want to say it is the worker who dressed up in the costume, but he is suspicious for many reasons you will see in continuation. It is an iPhone 5 and it is in Portuguese, with the date going all the way back to the 5th of December. The phone is unlocked, and the only apps that it has, apart from the ones that are already on the iPhone, such as WhatsApp and 3 other ones I have never seen. Why are these 3 apps that don't come included on the iPhone can't be erased? Does anyone know them? I took the time to search up the apps, and it states that the app Cydia is a graphical user interface for APT for iOS. It enables a user to find and install software not authorized by Apple on jailbroken iPhones, iPads, and iPod Touch devices. It also refers to digital distribution platforms for software on iOS accessed through Cydia software, and the app activator is a part of this one app. It only has 3 pictures. and they are 3 white houses. Has anyone seen them before? This is the only conversation on WhatsApp. They have not received any new messages. I have translated the conversation. How many people in the house? Question mark. I could see around 30, 40, probably the majority young. What do we do? Wait for further instruction. They are fishers. God bless you, brother. The audio of the conversation.
Me deixe saber. Eu só preciso ter certeza que ninguém saiba que nós estamos aqui. Tenha cuidado com Carlos também. Se lembre que eles não amam a Deus. Todas essas pessoas vão ter que pagar. E vão ter que pagar muito em breve. Deus está do nosso lado. Não se esqueça disso. Deus te abençoe, irmão.
This isn't all. First of all, I am going to show you why I think it is the cell phone of the security. Also, he never returned to work at the residence and he hasn't reported himself. Outside cameras. Why didn't he take off the costume when he was on break? Only the gloves. That is why I don't have a picture. Perhaps he knew there were cameras. Carlos continues to look through the phone and found an odd contact.
Após o sinal, diga seu nome e a cidade de onde está falando.
Sua chamada está sendo encaminhada para a caixa postal e estará solicita a cobrança após o sinal.
Elina, Salvo, Chester, Amor, Oculus, Pedra, Regua, Elina, Salvo, Chester, Elina, Salvo, Amor, Nino, Amor, Oculus, Madeira, Amor, Chester, Amor, Regua, Nino, Oculus, Vasher, Elina, Madeira, Bola, Regua, Oculus.
These are the words that the recording said. All of them were repeated. I gathered the first letters of the recording, and I think that if I put them together, it says something like if they were coming to kill in November, and it repeats itself 12 times. That is not it. The cell phone stopped having service 8 days ago, and I connected it to my Wi-Fi, and I received notifications from the app Maps. The Maps application has 2 locations pinned as favorites. Both are close to my house. This is the first. We passed a fence and there was nothing. This is the second one. And yes, we entered the house. It was abandoned or simply worn out. It has cleaning products in Portuguese labeling. A door is blocked. ... We broke it. This story just took a major twist, and now we know we're not only dealing with a psychotic cult, but now it is obvious that this cult is foreign, and it's odd because what would they want to do with Carlos? A room with a hole that leads to this tunnel. As Carlos continued to explore around, he found multiple paintings of Christ turned upside down, and I don't know if you guys know, it is known that when crosses or pictures of Christ are turned upside down, it signifies something satanic, which leads me to believe more in the possibility of the cult being from Portugal. So Carlos continued to explore and he made it to a rural community, and Carlos spent approximately 4 hours in that rural community. Give God your life. This message seems strong to me. I do not know if it has a double meaning. I don't know if some of you understand. God is love. We thought that it was abandoned because everything was closed. There were 2 ladies in the front. We weren't able to come closer. One of the people that accompanied me said that they were probably doing some sort of ritual to the baby who was crying. It is a small place, without signal, and everything is in Portuguese. Finally back, in the tunnel, I found this cross and I brought it back to my house. I asked God to protect me and the ones I love. The architect of the house has died. I contacted his son, who is also an architect, and we're going to meet. I hope it is this week. Good night. Everything seems so strange in this highlight thread. We learn that whatever's going on is not just happening to Carlos and his home, it is happening to the gated residents. And this all goes back to the house disappearing and leaving a forest in its place, to the satanic street names, and as well as the cult symbol being a part of the residents now. And even worse, now finding out that there's a rural community near his home that he never knew about, where everyone speaks Portuguese. The things going on stems further than just a simple satanic cult. It goes farther than the paranormal or the unexplainable things that have been occurring that are frightening Carlos. I feel like there are big people after Carlos, but it's too early on to tell, but we are getting closer to the truth. This was the end of the video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you are just as intrigued as I am to see what happens next. Make sure to subscribe with post notifications so you are notified when I update your favorite story. I will see you guys in the next video.